Welcome to another episode of Building the Orca. Just explain a little bit about where I'm coming from. This isn't one of those videos done by an expert. I'm not an expert boat builder. I make lots of models, but this is the third boat I've made. It's basically a step-by-step journey with me, showing you that ordinary people who know no experience of these things can make something like this. Okay, hopefully giving you a few hints and tips along the way. There'll be hints and tips and things I don't even know yet. That's the whole idea. It's a journey with me as I'm learning along the way. Okay, I'm not a professional model maker, I'm not a great model maker, I don't consider myself to be a great model maker. It's a bit of fun. Okay, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. I've made mistakes already, as you're going to see in this episode. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me and about where I'm coming from and about what these videos are about. So let's get on with it. Let's build the Orca. Okay, so the first job we need to do, the only job today, is to widen the hole where the propeller tube's going to go. You'll remember it when you see it. It's the piece that in part one I forgot to cut out. This is me paying the price for doing something wrong. So I've got to widen that. I've got to bring at the moment the propeller shaft's going in far too steep an angle. I've got to bring it in at an angle much lower, so the motor is lower in the boat. It's not up here. We need the motor lower. We need the angle of the propeller and shaft a lot lower. So that's what I'm going to do. It'll probably make more sense when you see me do it. Okay. So I've taken a little bit more out of the bulkhead, a little bit more along here, and I'm hoping this will give me the low angle I'm looking for. Seems okay. I'll look underneath. It's a short propeller tube, this one, but it does seem to be doing the job. Let's see what it looks like with the dowel. So, using the dowel as the prop, that doesn't seem too bad, it's better than it was. And it comes out at that sort of angle, maybe a bit better, maybe take it a bit lower. Right, this dowel will represent the propeller tube. As you can see, it's far too high. It really needs to be down there with that sort of angle. So I'm going to have to drill through here, find some way, and again drill the bulkhead as well, and find some way of just lowering the whole thing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. Alright, let's see how I get on. So that's where we were, and this is where we are. Much shallower line of attack. Take it through. The motor's going to fit. That's perfect. That's ideal. I'll fill this in with something. I don't know, car body filler or resin or something. But that's much better. I'm happy with that now. So this is where we're up to. Hello. Right, back with the Orca. Today, a couple of jobs. The first job I'm going to do today is to that's the only job on the Orca really. I'm going to paint what they call sand and seal. on the hull. This is, it's a bit like liquid PVA really, that's what it looks like. The idea is it blocks the pores of the wood, making it waterproof. It gives it a nice finish. You put a couple of coats of that on, let it dry, sand it back, undercoat, sand it back, put as many coats as you want on, and then you can paint right on top of that. So the hull is at the stage where we can put the sand and seal, or sanding seal, or whatever. You'll find it. It's a wood sealant. You'll find it if you're going to use it. The other job is I've made a base, a cradle for the boat. So I'm just going to wood stain that today as well. You probably don't need to see me do that. You know how to wood stain something. You get a brush, get some wood stain, paint it on, done. And that's it really. I've resined, as you'll see when you see the boat, I've resined the front well of the inside of the hull. I had some resin left over, so I poured that in, swirled it around, and that's as far as we're going to get today. So hopefully, yeah, by the end of the day we'll have a couple of coats of sanding seal on, or at least one coat. Doesn't take long. So that's it. Alright, see you in a bit. Right, so I'm going to do the sand and seal first, and then I'll wood stain the cradle. But I thought I'd just show you the cradle. Anyway, anyone who doesn't know what they are, and I'll explain how I made it as well. So that's it. It's literally 4 pieces of wood, a couple of dowels, these pieces, a bit of skirting board I think it is, and the grooves were what I did with the boat. I used a piece of wire and with the grooves, what I did was a piece of wire, just bent it over here to give me the angle, transferred that to here, and just cut the shape out. That's it. So I'm going to stain that, and then we'll wood sand and seal the hull. Okay, so clear shrinking dope is what I'm going to use on this. That's what it looks like. As I say, there's other brands, other makes. That's what I'm going to use. I'm literally going to just paint it on quite thinly, all over the hull. Yeah, quite literally all over the hull. You can see how it soaks in. You can see how it really soaks in. Now, I'm not going to film all of this. I'm just going to get on with it and speak to you in a bit. Okay, so it's had one coat on the keel, so I'm just going to wait for that to dry. Give it another coat, and then we'll do the sides. It's nice stuff. It smells nice. Okay, so that's everything sealed for today. It's had 2 coats, and these drying. I've done the inside as well, and that's it. Next job will be to sand it back. And then start painting maybe, I don't know, if we get the electrics in. So, see you next time. just in case you're wondering what I'm using to sand it, it's P320 grit sandpaper, quite fine sandpaper, and it does the job a treat. It really does. It gives it a lovely smooth finish. So the next job on in terms of prime, well, it'll be priming. Yeah, we'll put primer on top of this. I'll show you that, and then we can start to maybe build the paints up at some point. Yeah. Onwards and upwards. Okay, it's had 2 coats of sealant, and I'm sanding it back now, and it's really smooth off the sides. That needs sanding back, but this is ready. Sanding it back, looks really nice, feels really nice. And inside, we've actually put it inside as well. I don't know if you can see or not in the grooves here. It's all sort of settled. If you might be able to see, I'm not sure. But we've resined. I poured resin in the front here, the bows, more resin, and it's just a case of sanding it back now, make it nice and smooth, ready for painting. Okay, so I'm going to paint, like I said, along the seams, along the edges, along the cracks, just so nothing gets in. I'm not putting resin anywhere near this is the hole that the propeller will come through, and this is the one for the rudder. I'm not putting resin anywhere near them today, but when the propeller and rudder are in place, they will be fixed in with resin again to waterproof and seal the outside. Okay, so I'll get on with that and I'll show you once we're done. So you can have whatever you have to hand to mix the resin in. I like to use these old mushroom tubs or fruit tubs from the supermarket. Throw them away afterwards, disposable. So we'll get on with it. Hello, welcome back to building the Orca. You have to excuse me, I'm full of cold today. It's Monday the 29th of September. Yesterday I resined most of the inside of the boat. Today I'm trying, I'll show you, to line up. Today I'm trying to line up the propeller shaft with the coupling through the bottom of the hull. It's a nice angle, so it gives me enough. Don't know whether you can see that black against black. It gives me enough clearance on the propeller. The rudder's going to come through here. The only thing is, it's a tight angle in here. This is, bear in mind, even with the coupler, the motor is going to be about here, which is going to be really high in the boat. And there's not a lot I can really do about that, because this is the angle the plans say to bring it through at. Fairly heavy motor as well. I mean, okay, it's not a major problem. It's going to, you know, it's going to go through a bit there. Just in that bulkhead. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just playing around with what fits where inside the boat. Once I've done that, and I'm happy that that's the position everything's going to be in, I'll probably give it another coat of resin. I'll probably just mix it up in this cup, and just quite literally pour it along the bottom of the boat. We're going to want it on the seals, on the joins. So that's what we're doing today. Yeah, so we get on. The next thing I'm going to do is to fill this gap with car body filler and then resin on top of that. Okay, it's quite a big gap to fill. So we use car body resin filler. Again, just mixed up 1 part hardener to about 10 parts body filler. It'll tell you on there. I always get these things when I go to I don't know, wherever I go, I don't know, these places. I pick a handful of them up. They're brilliant for spreading things. Obviously the mixers. So yeah, let's see how we get on. So that's it done. Doesn't matter if it looks slightly untidy. No one's going to see it. It's only the inside of the boat. You could put fiberglass over it if you wanted to. I'm not sure whether we're going to fiberglass yet or whether we're just going to give it another coat of resin. But either way, it's in place. I'm really pleased with that. I would have done at the same time exactly the same thing with the rudder, but unfortunately it hasn't arrived yet, and I do want to make a little bit of headway today, especially because I feel a bit lousy and I've got nothing else to do. It shows you how much of a cold I've got, in that this stuff absolutely stinks. I can't smell it. So God knows what I've been breathing in. Anyway, that's where we're up to. Let it harden for a couple of hours and then we'll see what we're up to. Okay.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.